how do you learn who invented Hangul?
Oh, actually, in North Korea, in school, they don't teach that Hangul was made by King Sejong.
No?
No. When I was young, I didn't know that Hangul was made by King Sejong.
No.
No.
So in North Korea, at which age do you start learning Hangul?
Or the school teach to how to write, in the first grade of primary school. So in North Korea, children start to learn how to write at the age of 6.
But there is still kindergarten in North Korea, right?
Yes, kindergarten, 1 year of kindergarten is also one part of 12-year education system.
What strikes me every time I see these clips of North Korean kindergartners is that they're so brainwashed at such a young age about the propaganda of North Korea.
In North Korea, children are never too young, to be educated in the process of indoctrination.
Right, so I think that's another key difference that's evolved between South and North Korea over the 6-7 decades of division, and I think that's something very interesting that we could talk about today.
Yes, okay.
Well, sure. So why don't we delve into that further? So let's take a step further into how these 5-6-year-olds are indoctrinated.
In North Korea, our children are never too young to be indoctrinated. The whole North Korean education system brainwash its people with the idea that the Kims, the leaders of North Korea, are divine beings, like that. For instance, all the personal cult education revolves around Kim Il-sung, portraying Kim Il-sung as anti-Japanese, the hero. And even now, the Kim Il-sung is regarded as eternal president of North Korea even after 2 decades of his death. Mm-hmm. And Kim Jong-il is portrayed like he was born in Mountain Baekdu under the red, bright night star. But actually, Kim Jong-il was born in Siberia, Russia, and all these family business of a personal cult now handed over to Kim Jong-un after the death of Kim Jong-il. In North Korea, the people can't just escape, the Kims for 365 days, 5 days, For instance, in every offices, classrooms, even the passenger train cars are featured with the portraits of Kim Il-sung and Kim Jong-il. And these portraits must be cleaned with a special cloth every morning.
Wow.
Yes, and also I think you have seen that North Korean people are enforced to carry a small, the badges of Kim Il-sung and Kim Jong-il on their left chest, to be close to the heart. And also, for instance, in kindergartens, children even start to be brainwashed at a very early age. For instance, when the milk arrives for lunch in kindergartens, then children would line up to fill their cups with the milk, and the teacher would then ask the children something like, do you know where this milk came from? The milk was sent by Marshal Kim Jong-un, and thanks to Marshal Kim Jong-un's love and consideration, now we are drinking the milk, something like this. And in North Korea, schools don't teach history. They only teach the revolutionary history of Kim's family. And in North Korea, children do not know that Korean characters were created by King Sejong.
Right.
You know, and in schools, when you solve mathematical problems, you know, the teachers usually teach the students like this many of Kim Il-sung's anti-Japanese guerrilla fighters, and this many of Japanese soldiers, and X many Japanese soldiers were killed. So all the curriculum of education is going on in that way.
You know, one of the biggest, I guess, globally well-known facts about South Korea is South Korean parents' passion for their children's education. We have terms like helicopter moms, tiger moms, and whatnot. Is there such thing in North Korea, and are there private schools in North Korea?
Oh, there is no any private school, but in North Korea as well, there is a great enthusiasm by parents for their children. But in North Korea, private tutoring is illegal. The school system and the government would not allow, you know, the parents to hire private tutors. But these days, you know, it is a common thing, especially in Pyongyang, that the parents would hire private tutors, you know, and the teachers would visit the private homes for money. For instance, the general subjects like mathematics, physics, chemistry, these subjects, for instance, the parents would pay from 15 to 20 US dollar per month per each of the subject.
That's a whole lot, considering your salary at the Foreign Affairs Ministry in North Korea was like $3.
Yeah, less than $1, you know.
Oh, was it?
Yes, but
Wow.
you know, if you want to upbring your children, you know, for a better education, then you have to earn a lot of money and to invest. Usually, in Pyongyang, for rich families or middle-class families, they spend around 150 US dollar per month for children's private tutoring. Yes.
Right. Now, Kim Il-sung University, I know that is one of, if not the most prestigious university in North Korea. I was surprised myself to find out that because of this rise of defectors from North Korea to South Korea,
Yes.
there is even an alumni association
Well, yes,
of Kim Il-sung
you're right,
University
yes.
here in South Korea. What are some of the most popular majors taken by North Korean students?
Oh, there are many faculties in Kim Il-sung University, and Kim Il-sung University is actually regarded as a pinnacle of North Korean education. The most popular subjects in that university is the first foreign language, and the law, and the philosophy, because if you are the graduate of foreign language department, then you can get a job as a diplomat, or you can get a job in foreign currency owning, you know, the companies. And if you are the graduate of law or philosophy, then you can be party officials, or you can work in prosecutor's office, you know, which can give you a great influence or power in the society. So these subjects are the most popular ones in Kim Il-sung University.
So, because in law, there's like human rights law, there's
Yes.
constitutional law, and I cannot imagine North Korea wanting to teach their students that kind of law, because that could very well be used against the regime, no?
No, they teach also human rights laws as well. But
Really?
Yes, but the concepts of human rights is quite different. You see, with the concepts you may have in human rights. For instance, the concept of human rights in South Korea and Western countries is that the person's private, independence, and then the freedom of speech and expression are the main important part of human rights. But in North Korea, no, they say that the human being is just one part of the community, and North Korea's slogan is one serve for all and all serve for one. So they interpret the human rights in the concepts of kind of community and collectiveness.
So obviously North Korea, I suppose, puts a lot of weight in educating its people. You yourself went to a high school in China, did you?
Oh, yes.
And you studied at a very prestigious university as well. Are those the requirements to become a diplomat in North Korea? And did you have to take a certain kind of an examination to serve in the Foreign Affairs Ministry?
Or if you want to be a diplomat, in North Korea, then the first criteria is the level of foreign language speaking. That is the most important, the criteria. And also, you have to be in the core class, a member of core class. Political criteria plays main factor in selection process. But in North Korea, there is no such a system of, diplomat examination, entrance examination or something like that. Job of diplomat is assigned by the party and government.
Really? So you didn't apply for it?
No.
So you didn't have a choice?
In North Korea, basically there is no concept of freedom of, jobs.
Right.
Yeah.
So what would you have chosen if you had the choice to choose your career? I mean, you must have had a dream job when you were young.
Oh yes, when I was young, the dream to be astronaut.
Really?
As a young boy, because I was very interested in the movement of the stars. My mother strongly recommended me, to learn foreign languages, and that could be a good way to improve my life. That's why I worked very hard to learn foreign languages. And when I started learning English, my dream was to become a diplomat. But these days, things are changed. In North Korea, the young people do not want a job like diplomat.
Why not?
It's not job of diplomat cannot create a lot of benefits in your economic life.
Oh, so it's not financially outstanding.
That's right. You see, so in North Korea these days, young people all want to get a job in companies, where they can earn a lot of, US dollars, So we call it organizations earning, the hard currencies. And if you perform well, that kind of, the illicit bonus is much, the higher than the job of diplomat.
I know one of the key motivations of your defection to South Korea was the education of your two boys.
Yes.
And I think I've heard that your two boys are brilliant, they're very smart and intelligent. They were actually educated in prestigious UK institutions. Do they have dreams? What kind of jobs do they want?
At this moment, they do not have any specific their future plan, but now they are preparing to go South Korean universities. My first son is interested in economics, while my second son is interested in mathematics. I'm not sure, what kind of jobs they would take after their graduation of the universities.
That's quite different from yourself. You're
Yes.
in more of like the arts area, right, with languages, and they
Yes.
have more interest in the sciences area with economics and mathematics.
They have seen enough the job of diplomats. When I was a North Korean diplomat, my sons complained a lot about me, because they have seen that my life was the double life. I have to pretend to be loyal to the leadership, and I have to pretend that North Korean system is best system in the world. So whenever they saw my activities, they didn't like it. So job of diplomats don't have much freedom at all. So my sons prefer more freedom. They do not want to be bound to a certain strict laws or.
So speaking of jobs, it reminds me, sluggish job market is almost a global norm these days.
Yes.
Of course, South Korean seniors in college, they start worrying about getting a job from day one of their senior year, if not their junior year in college. We also hear that North Korea boasts itself for having 0% unemployment rate. Is that true?
Oh, according to official, the statistics, it is reported that there is no, the unemployment case in North Korea, but actually, no. There are huge unemployment problem, especially for young, the people. In North Korea, as I've said, there is no concept of freedom of jobs, because the jobs are expected to be assigned by the party and the government. That's why usually in North Korea, once you are assigned a certain job, then that is a lifelong job. But these days, this kind of system is crumbling as well, because the government is not providing as it used to be. So everyone should take care of his own daily life. Everyone has to take care of his private living. So these days, young people are looking for a job where they can at least make ends meet.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So some people, even though the party and government assigned jobs for young people, but if young people don't like it, and some of them, actually don't take it. So there are actually, also the problem of unemployment in North Korea, but the government does not acknowledge the existence of this unemployment in North Korea.
Now, you mentioned that, of course, a South Korean pop culture, so South Korean soap operas, TV shows, celebrities are very popular, although under the table, or under the blanket popular in North Korea. Are there young people in North Korea who actually want to become those kind of celebrities or actresses or whatnot?
The people are only interested in money, and those, the film stars and the people in the cultural industry are not very well paid. So the job of film stars or singers or musicians, are not good jobs anymore in North Korea.
Right, so it seems like everything has to do with money in North
Sure,
Korea.
Yes. Money is the most important thing in North Korea.
And
yes.
it's quite ironic because North Korea claims itself to be a communist state, but in essence, when you get down to it, it's actually the very market-driven society North Korea seems to be.
Yes, because I think, for instance, civil servants in North Korea are really poorly paid with monthly salary. They can't even afford, one day, the survival. Mm-hmm. That's why naturally, this kind of, environment makes the people only interested in money. Only money can sustain, their life. So, ironically, North Korea is a communist or socialist society, but actually the interest of the people, or for money is much stronger than the people who are actually living in capitalist countries.
Now, South Korea just recently announced that it would invest around 800,000 US dollars into special lectures, into designing special lectures across various universities nationwide to offer education on North Korea, as well as a possible reunification and the likes. What do you think, as an insider of North Korea, as an elite from North Korea, what would you propose that they actually learn from those classes?
I think the most important thing for the university education for North Korean studies is to teach the young generation the objective understanding about North Korea. Because I learned that the people, especially young people in South Korea, do not understand about North Korea, and to me, they look very naive, you know. So that's why I think only teaching the young generation objectively about North Korea, then the future generation can find a realistic, you know, the options for reunifying the country.
What is an objective view of North Korea?
Oh, for instance, you know, the people, especially young people in South Korea, do not understand well, you know, about North Korea. For instance, these days, these young people are discussing about the merit of future reunification. And according to the recent poll, only 67% of young generation support the reunification, while the others don't. And to young generation, these days the issue of reunification becomes a kind of issue of gain or loss, you know. Mm-hmm. But I don't think so, because, you know, now North Korea is moving further and further to completion of nuclear weapons, and Kim Jong-un regime can use these nuclear weapons anytime on South Korea. So to South Korea, especially to young generation, reunification of the country is not the matter of gain or loss, but this is the matter of death or life, you know.
Right, so I think it once again, it highlights the importance of education, whether it's education for the South Korean youth or North Korean youth. It's the importance of education in moving forward with an ideology or a country or a state, and hopefully we'll be able to penetrate more information, more educational information into North Korea to, I suppose, have an impact on the way the North Koreans perceive their regime and get a feel of the reality.
Yes, I fully agree. I think dissemination of information of both Koreas to each other is really important to narrow down, you know, the differences between North and South Korea.
I think you nailed it. Thank you so much.
I think you've done a very good job today, and I really appreciate your professionalism.
Thank you.